Hi there. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to become an expat and go where you're treated better. Like, where do you even start with that process? This is what we'll talk about today. I'll give about five ways that you could just start to map out how to become an expat and go where you're treated better. Hi, I'm Ronnie. I am an expat and a teacher. I've been teaching for over 10 years and I've been an expat for about 8 years. So I help Black women and men who want to become expats and teach abroad. So if you're interested in navigating these international streets, you're in the right place. If you are about a life of freedom and peace of mind, then you're also in the right place. And if you're on a mission to go where you're treated better because you know you deserve it, then please subscribe and join our tribe. Welcome. All right, so we'll get into this. So how do you become an expat? I'll be looking down at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. All right, so I think number one is to start taking short trips abroad. I think this is where you should start. This is like the very beginning. Because if you never traveled before, you won't know where you want to go. I don't care how many videos you watch of other people who boast about this country or that country. You don't know what country will make you feel at home until you go. So map it out and take a sabbatical, take short trips. If you work, do what you can. Pick a couple of countries and just go. Like, don't go with lots of expectations. Like, do your research, but go with the spirit of curiosity and excitement. Like, don't stress yourself out over it. Check out a couple of places and see how those places make you feel. And I say that because before I became an expat, I took short trips overseas. And the first country that I visited was France. It was Paris. And I absolutely loved it. It changed my life. It completely changed my perspective on everything, because before that point, I thought the US was the best country in the world. Okay, that's where my mentality was then. So definitely check places out, because you'll learn about yourself and you'll learn about what's really important to you. On my first trip, what I learned about what's really important to me is food and weather. So I would advise you to really go into that. Like, make weather, food, and people your 3 priorities. And I say this because weather can really affect your mood. I've met people who go through seasonal depression, so they don't like being in cold countries that are like cold, or that don't have a lot of sunlight. Me, I'm the opposite. I like gloomy weather. I like winter, spring, fall, and I don't like summer. I can't stand the heat. This is what I'm dealing with now. Right now I'm in Vietnam and the humidity is ridiculous and I'm not used to it, so it's pissing me off. So it's very important because weather affects your mood, right? And that will affect your relationships between people, just meeting people, right? So that's very, very, very important. The weather. Do you like it cold? Do you like it hot? Be honest with yourself, okay? Next is food. Okay, one of the reasons why I decided to become an expat was because I did not trust the food in the US. Okay, I didn't trust the food. I was almost scared to eat. Now, the thing with the US is that food tastes fantastic. Junk food tastes fantastic. And if I have a bag of Hers sour cream and onion chips in front of me, I'm going to eat it all. And I'm going to love it, and I'm not going to care. I won't care, right? But then afterwards, you have to deal with the effects of that. Like eating chips can really put weight on and make you unhealthy. So I wanted to be somewhere that that was just like a place where I can be more healthy. Somewhere that I can walk a lot, eat fresh fruits and vegetables, and just have access to affordable, healthy food. Like that was very important for me and my family. So, yes. All right, so number 2, I think that you should be clear on your why. Why do you want to leave? Like write it down. You know, that's what helped me kind of clear my head and get a clear understanding of what I wanted and why I wanted it. For me, it was kind of simple. It wasn't that deep. I traveled throughout the US, and I wanted to experience living in another country. Like that was it. You know, I traveled to over 10 countries before I came to the decision where I'm like, you know, I really want to see how it is living overseas. That was it. Yeah, really. It was more for adventure, curiosity, and just having that experience. So just know why you want to do what you want to do. I'm glad I made that decision. That was before everything kind of got crazy in the States. But yeah, so know why you want to move abroad and do what you want to do. Write it down. Okay, so the next point is you have to think about what's the tool or what's the skill you're going to use to move abroad. So nowadays it's very easy. It's pretty much almost like whatever you do, whatever you're doing already, you can find countries where they need your skills, or you can package it up and do it online. There's lots of opportunities for that. For me, it was teaching, right? So I was a teacher already. So then I found out about teaching overseas. So I just kind of did my research. I'm like, all right, so I want to teach overseas. What do I need? What type of qualifications would I need in order to teach abroad? So I did my research and I completed the CELTA program. I won't get all into that now, but it's just a program that qualifies you to teach adults that speak another language overseas. So I got that, and shortly after is when we moved abroad. So what is your skill? What's the thing that you enjoy doing? Whether it's in healthcare, education, law, I mean, the sky's the limit, really. And you can teach yourself new skills online. So the sky's the limit. Just what's your tool? You have to think about that. You have to research and ask questions. Like, you know, whatever you're into, ask a person who's an expat. If you're a lawyer, you know, find another expat lawyer and ask them, how did they become an expat? You know, how was the process for them? So I think that would be helpful to you. I hope it is. Okay, so the fourth piece of advice is when you make a decision, make sure you stick to it. Like, believe in yourself. Believe in your intuition. I call it your inner God, you know, that calling that you have to do something. If it's strong, don't ignore it, and don't hang around people that try to dim your light or dim that fire or call you crazy or, you know, just want to argue with you about it or tell you that it won't work. stay away from those people, seriously, because they are agents. That's it. You know, if they're not about uplifting you and like supporting you in something that you want to do, then they're agents, and they're dangerous, you know, to your goals. They're dream killers. So you need to stay away from those type of people. Believe in yourself, and when you make a decision, stick to it. And, you know, every problem that you face, just take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and don't run from the problem. Just kind of face it, and just figure out, okay, this is problem 1, how do I get through it? Problem 2, problem 3, and take it like that, just one day at a time. Have patience with yourself. All right, so again, I'll just repeat this. I already talked about this, but this is so important. Like, really consider, even before you start traveling, consider weather, what type of weather you like, okay, and the type of diet. Like, what's your diet? Do you mind eating lots of meats, or do you want to eat more vegetables? You want to have access to fresh fruits and vegetables every day? Like, really go into and research the foods in the country that you want to visit or move to. Okay. And then, of course, the people. That comes with, you see, you really won't know that information until you go. You won't know until you go. So research the weather, research the food, and then just go, and then talk to people and see how you feel. Feel the energy of the place. It's very important. All right, so I think I'll stop here. Now, I mean, in my situation, I had to convince my husband to move abroad, and I had to convince my ex-husband to take our son overseas. So that's a whole nother video in and of itself. So if you're interested in, maybe you're in that situation now. If you have a husband or ex-husband and you want to take your child abroad, or you want to convince your husband to move abroad and you're having problems, and if you want me to share kind of how I navigated those waters, type in the comment section, talk about it. Okay? So in the comment section, if you want me to make a video about that, if you're interested in that, type in talk about it. Okay? Write that in the comment section and I'll make a video, because that's a completely different situation. It's very difficult, but like I said before, once you make a decision, stick to it, and you can do anything. Is possible. Everything is possible. That's for sure. So I guess that's it. I'll end it here. If you have any questions, like, type it in the comment section. If you have anything to add, I didn't cover a whole lot. I just, these are some things just to think about so you can get started. All right. And that's it. So until the next video, take care, stay fabulous, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.